Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us for a little deep dive here into the Cloud9 Valorant rosters and the introduction of Cloud9 White. I'm Rivington, and I'll be your host for this roundtable. Throughout the discussion, to give you a little idea of what we'll be talking about, we'll be touching on the road and what that looked like for each of the teams as they joined Cloud9, each one of these players and what they went through and what the expectations might be from them now and what they're expecting now on the C9 organization. I also wanted to touch a little bit about on the dual team setup and how that might help both teams grow if they've been scrimming. And we'll chat a little bit about the competitive side of Valorant, what 2021 might look like, as well as some agent changes, ranked, all that good stuff. I want to take this chance to introduce Cloud9's Valorant all-women team, Cloud9 White. This team is comprised of Alexis, Annie Dro, Jazzykins, Katsumi, and Mel. And let's take a moment to introduce the Cloud9 blue team, the men's squad that's comprised of TenZ, Relics, Mitch, Shinobi, and Vice. So just to start off, hi everybody, how you doing?
Hey, yo.
First games, I want to know the first games that made you feel like you were competing. Kind of feel free to talk over each other here, but like, what were those games that gave you the adrenaline rush that put that tension in your arms, and then you were feeling success right after you were able to win?
Counter-Strike.
Counter-Strike, yeah.
Yep.
Definitely.
Counter-Strike.
Yes.
The best game.
Right.
Any Overwatch players?
Yes.
So I think that's a big one for many, because I'm sure a lot of us have maybe played RTSs like StarCraft and whatnot, but knowing you're in like a 1v1 or that 2v1, people are watching you, they're relying on you, and then that adrenaline rush is burning through. I think I definitely feel that as well, being a Counter-Strike player. That's awesome. And that's kind of where I found my beginning competition as well in the Counter-Strike days. Now, looking at where everything has come from, the C9 men's team, the blue team, you guys have known each other for quite some time. Looking at how Relics and Mitch have played together in previous teams, you've known each other as just a previous Cloud9 team as well. What has it been like now for you guys, either anybody, to again be on the same team, see this roster that's come together, some of you from 4 years ago? I guess with that being said, Mitch, Relics, I'll start with you. You guys used to play on Selfless. What's it like to still be on a team?
You know, kind of hoped I'd never see this guy again. You know, fate has it otherwise. But I mean, I think when you go back that far, it's kind of like we played on a team for how long we were on Selfless together, Mitch? Like 6 months or something. Like,
yeah,
it wasn't
6
that
months.
long. Yeah, so like 6 months, like 5 years ago or something. It's not like super recent in my memory, but you know.
Hey man, we used to room together too, so we have that chemistry.
That's true. We have the roommate chemistry.
Who's cleaner?
I'm pretty clean.
Probably
Yeah,
Skylar.
same.
All
No,
right.
same.
All right.
This guy's like, nah, same.
No, I love that, the history, because I also want to take a look at Cloud9 White, the women's team. Ladies, I was able to find a bit of history on obviously you all being friends and playing together for a while, but has it been 4 years? Is that the kind of camaraderie that's there? But how long has it been, Annie?
I'm relatively new because I came from Overwatch. I think the other girls have known each other for much longer, but I'm definitely like the newest person, I would say.
Right on. Alexis, you played CSGO for 5 or so years, 3 competitive. How has it been kind of playing with these ladies? How many have you known and coming through the ranks?
I've known Mel since like 2015, 2016, so
God.
pretty long time. Yeah. We met for the first time at ESL New York 2017, so we go way back. But I've known Jazzy for a couple of years, but that joining the team was my first time meeting Kat and Annie though.
All right, that's awesome. Jazzy, I loved your profile on your Twitch. Says the mental of the prodigy, the best prodigy out there. Are you hoping to be able to show this on Cloud9?
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh my god, I'm cackling.
Do you feel like there's any pressure on you being the youngest?
Definitely, yeah. really nervous. Not gonna lie. Youngest
Well,
compete.
honestly, go ahead.
That's it. That's it.
Honestly, after the first event, when I was even talking to people back at Riot that I worked with and whatnot, I'd be saying, "Hey, how'd you like the Summer Showdown, this Ignition series?" And they were like, "Jazzykins." I was like, "Really? Jazzykins? All right." So you have some fans out there for sure that are coming out of the woodwork. So keep doing what you're doing and keep that prodigy mentality up.
Thank you.
l- Looking at how this started for C9 White, the women's team, when everybody was looking to get signed. It was on Twitter, social medias. Where's our contract? You know, you want us. Were there many people kind of dipping their toes into that? Or was C9 one to step up and say, hey, we're really looking to pick you up?
Oh, sis. There was a lot of teams that were hitting us up. I cap not. There is no cappuccino here. Like, at first, it was like, I would say there was 3 tier 1 orgs that hit us up, but after like a certain date, there was like 7. And I was like, okay, this is kind of getting absurd. Because there was a period where it was just like nothing, and I was getting egoed by like tier 2 orgs. I was legit getting, I was hopped in a call, and I'd be like talking about salary, and they're like, no, heart. And that was just it.
Whoa, there's like no explanation to it. They're like, maybe not this time around. So what? And you knew you were better though.
Yeah, like I knew it was gonna happen eventually. Like I was pretty patient with it, but it's just funny to look back on that, honestly.
Awesome. Alexis, I want to jump back to you real quick before we go to Katsumi. You tweeted on June 11th looking for a team. June 17th, I believe, was maybe when you joined Magical, or a little bit after. Was that already in the works? You were looking for a team and you knew these girls, or it was just like, boom, we want her?
What had happened was my current team wasn't sure if they wanted to switch to Valorant or stay in CS when the game came out. And then Mel DM'd me secretly. She was like, do you wanna come try out for our team?
Oh my
Do
god.
you wanna come play? And I was like, sure. And then they seemed to like me a little bit, I guess. So then I joined the team right after that. Yeah.
Just a little bit though.
Yeah, not much. Honestly.
Awesome. So how are we feeling overall about the names that came in for the team? C9 White, C9 Blue. Is anybody wishing they were different?
Can we switch? Can we be blue?
Or nah, what?
How about we take a best of 3 and then we take whatever name.
Oh my god.
Oh, I'm done.
Before we jump on to our kind of our next question and flow, Katsumi, I wanted to know as well from you for the women's team, your kind of background in playing is 3,000 plus hours in CSGO. You come in as the kind of Omen, Smoke, utility, and control. But you are always focused on competing at the highest level and wanting to compete. What does that drive come from? Or where does that, I should say?
I like winning. I think that's the best answer I can give is I don't know. I really just enjoy being better than other people, I guess. But yeah, that it definitely feels good to know that like this is something that I put so much time into, and I've spent so many hours like doing it for years, and it's all really like paid off and come to this point, and like seeing that like those achievements come from that is really what drives me, I think.
I love that answer, Katsumi. It really shows that you guys have obviously trained really hard, and it's got to be icing on the cake to know that having that Ignition Series win means you are able to compete at the highest level and continue. Now, switching back over to the men's side for the blue team, you know, you guys have such a stacked roster, and Cloud9 has always been able to be an organization that shows potential in grabbing talent, making talent better, and then having some of the top talent. What's it like knowing you're playing alongside TenZ, now ranked #1 in the Valorant League on the stats?
I think TenZ actually has 3 accounts in the top 100. I saw a comment. Feels good. I mean, he's, in my opinion, I think he's the most individually skilled player in North America right now, and it's a pleasure to play with young Mr. No. What else can I say? He's a cool guy.
That was cute.
That's nice. Relix, you know, you've been gaming for a while. CS:GO player, avid FPS. altogether, but you also like to entertain. You have a pretty good stream. What's it mean to you to kind of interact with the community while you're streaming?
Yeah, streaming was actually like a hobby of mine before I even like went pro. So I was streaming, going to college and stuff like that. I don't know. It's just about making the community inclusive and trying to like brighten people's days, especially like with how gloomy the world kind of is right now. Trying to bring smile to people's faces.
Absolutely.
Feels good.
What are the things that the teams have been able to work on now, if even, since the news has been so recent? Has there been any scrimming or talking between the coaches? Coaches or AI in-game leaders of the teams?
I think Josh would be better.
Honestly, not yet. No, we haven't.
Right.
Any scrims or anything.
Absolutely. Yeah. So my next question would be like, what's the focus on that? Are there kind of expectations you want to hit with having now two teams? It seems like the competitive scene isn't allowing each other to see a lot of strats. So now having a dual team could be very helpful.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll be good to be able to just kind of do things in house. Like if there's something we want to really save and we don't want to show, and vice versa for them as well. If they have something that they want to practice that, they don't want other people to see, I think it's good. It's only an advantage in that regard, I would say. So
it's true. I think the past week we were scrimming a few teams and we were kind of holding back on some plays, and I think having a second team in house would be really helpful for that.
Talking about looking at a bit of the competitive scene and what happens with that, what are you expecting in the future? We're seeing a lot of tier 2 teams now be pretty strong. Unexpected teams come out. Are you excited for each side of this? TenZ, I'll ask you to see what you think of the competition.
Yeah, like the tier 2 teams are like quite good, and they have some interesting ways to approach the game that we haven't really seen. And so sometimes like they can kind of catch teams off guard, I think, with the way they play. So I think it's really like exciting for the future of those teams.
Absolutely. And let's hit up Katsumi. What does it look like when you're going through each game? And it seems like you always had control of each of the tournament games you were winning as you went undefeated. What is it like knowing that you're stronger than every other female team out there and possibly want to get into the rest of the tournaments?
Honestly, I feel like we went in knowing that we had put in the time and put in the hours more than any other team had. And to be honest, there just aren't any other female teams out there right now that have put in the same work that we have for as long as we have. And I feel like that's where most of our success comes from, and that's where we know that it came from. I'm really hoping that there will be some like orgs that establish these female teams that are like able to really compete and put in the same hours. But you just need to have those resources to be able to do that.
Right. Mel, kind of being a captain and leading the charge in a way, is there any good information on that front that you could kind of give teams to, even if it's just kind of not give up or know that this might be a wall in the beginning?
I think my best advice would be don't even look at it as trying to be the best female team. You guys should honestly actively compete in these like lower tier tournaments, like these C tier, B tier tournaments, and actually try to beat tier 2 and like male teams, because honestly that's the goal at the end of the day. If you can beat these teams, then the female teams will be a breeze.
That's awesome. That's really good information. And honestly, I think getting yourself in a competitive mindset in that format really helps to learn overall. I think we all realized how much more we learned in some of our first scrims than just pubbing around. Hearing people use call outs or say something is right or wrong is just huge and such a big advantage to learn right away. Vice, I'm coming to you. It's been a while. The other day, you tweeted out F10 a.m. games.
That's correct.
What has always been the deal with early morning gaming?
Just the gamer sleep schedule is always stay up late and wake up late. So I just think it's kind of irresponsible for these tournament organizers to be scheduling these matches at 10 a.m. Yeah, I'm calling them out right now.
It's like pulling a Wardell, pulling a muscle. It just happens so much easier if it's early. You can't stay up all night, right? But you want to, like you said, the gamer culture. So what has it been like for you, Vice? Coming onto the team now, you were, I believe, a Cloud9 trial, but still on the previous CS:GO roster. Was it hey, Vice is a great player, let's bring him up to the Valorant roster, we know this guy? Or was it, did you have to go back and try out for the team and kind of poke him and say, I want to be with you for it?
It was kind of like I had to go back kind of situation at first. When Valorant came out, I was kind of iffy about whether I wanted to compete in it, and I think Shinobi actually did a really good job of like convincing me. And I didn't really enjoy the game that much in like a casual like ranked competitive environment, but in like matches and scrims, I got the fire in me to start competing again. So I think that was the draw for me.
That feels good. That fire feels good. Do you all ever see each other in ranked commonly? I mean, you're all basically Radiant.
It's been a minute since I've seen TenZ. I don't think I've played anyone else but TenZ.
I played Relic the other day.
I'm hard stuck in Immortal 3.
Yeah, I still look you into a Knight's 4 stack.
Oh,
Because
rip.
they're West Coast, right? So
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, how many of you guys are West Coast?
I think 3 of us.
Three of us.
Everyone except Mitch
okay.
and me.
Let me hop on the West Coast server and get some free low real quick.
Yeah.
What's up?
Nah, I'm kidding.
Whoa.
Come play on
Yeah,
that.
because
Come play
we're
on that
always playing on
65
Michigan.
ping.
What he said.
Yeah.
That makes it so tough watching people die a minute after you shoot. So for the women's team, Cloud9 White, what are your kind of thoughts about what the competitive Valorant scene might look like heading into 2021? Do you want to see more events that are also male and female? Do you want to just see women's events so it can build that scene and ensure that women can have that place to play and not feel like they're getting pushed out of anywhere? What are the thoughts on that? Annie, I'll come to you.
No, yeah, I think all female tournaments are actually super helpful for
Mhm.
a lot of purposes, like scouting. Like we got scouted from an all female tournament. That probably wouldn't have happened if we didn't have that like major boost in recognition. So I think those are really good at, developing female talent. And then they can go on to integrate. And, people always like to talk about like,
Right.
oh, why can't we just like integrate them? And it's like, it's a bit harder because like we don't really have the same opportunities with like scrims, with like everything like that. And so the
a
first
great
step
point.
is to develop like in-house like female tournaments and female scrims so that we can integrate later on with the experience that we have. And that's exactly what our goal is
Yeah.
we're trying to basically take this experience and we're trying to move up. We want to be solid tier 2, even bordering tier 1 eventually.
That's amazing to hear. And it's not a stretch by any means. I mean, I'm not sure if it was true. I know you had a question mark on the tweet, but were you the first female Radiant? Because I thought you also
I
put a
think
question mark on the
I
tweet.
think in North America. I wasn't
Okay,
actually
okay.
sure.
Yeah.
I think in North America, but yeah.
I mean, you cannot deny that, as well as the rest of the team being able to reach such a high level of play and just kind of going in, finding yourself at that, and then saying, "Yeah, we need to put together a team." I think has been amazing, and it shows that you are able to just undefeatedly go through your first Ignition Series tournament. That it's all been done the right way and not just on a hunch. I've loved watching the team play so much. First
like
strike is. Oh, go ahead, please.
And like a big thing that I want to talk about too is like we're not
Yeah.
complacent like with our skill. We're nowhere near being like plateaued. We have a lot of like training that we still need to do. We have a lot of like coaches had just come onto our team for the first time in 2 weeks. And we've already seen like a lot of improvement. And I just think over the couple of months that we
Yeah.
have like some really good coaching, I think we will become someone that, people like teams will fear. And that's exactly what we want. We want like teams to fear us because I feel like people are going to undermine us and we're just going to play off of that too.
Uh, Absolutely. I believe that as well. Looking for that coach position, I'd love to touch on that. Was it difficult to sort it out? Did you know who kind of wanted the right thing for the team? How was that decision made?
We definitely looked at a lot of things regarding coaching. So I think the biggest thing that we were all like looking for and we all agreed on is we wanted them to hold all of us accountable for, mistakes, for like attitudes, for anything like. And I think our number one goal is we just want a coach that helps us improve at the end of the day and can like bring good vibes on top of that. So we found some really good candidates too.
That's awesome. I can see how that position, you want to come in as a coach and you just kind of start saying like, that's good, that's good, that's good. Work on this. And you need way more in-depth kind of thought about everything going through that process. So I'm glad, it's good to hear that the team has taken time to, choose their sponsor, or I mean, choose their organization, I should say, and choose their coaches as they come in to build that infrastructure. It's awesome to hear for the C9 white team. Looking a little bit more forward, as I was saying, First Strike is coming up. How is everybody feeling about First Strike? Chances probably pretty good. Yes, I can get a yes in the room.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Honestly though, what are the thoughts, Mitch, about that kind of First Strike setup, the tournament, and what it can help do to evolve the Valorant scene?
I just hope we don't get accidented by like a cheating team or something. But I think it's good growth for the community or something.
Perfect.
Along those lines.
Or something.
Or something.
10-point answer. I love it.
Thank you.
But it does become a little scary though, thinking that some guys are just gonna push every round, do some random stuff, and that.
Yeah, exactly.
Though, right? So you can kind of make sure it happens. That's pretty funny. Mel, how you feeling about the team's chances to kind of just roll through the pub competition?
We've pulled some upsets before in like the B tier tournaments, C tier tournaments, so I think we'll definitely be able to upset a lot of teams. Like adding on to Annie's point of people undermining us, I think one thing is like tier 2, tier 3 teams kind of come in with an advantage because everyone has seen the tier 1 teams, like their gimmicks and their strats. Obviously, some of them haven't been playing in recent tournaments, but I feel like if you just come up with something new and the other team, like it's really hard to read that in game and come up with a solution for that in game when you see something for the first time. So I think we'll see a lot of that, especially coming out of our team.
Let me see here. So I'm trying to think like who's brain crafty. I'm going to Shinobi, coach role. Yes. Shinobi, how much do you think Valorant still has to evolve? We have, regions that focus alt orbs, regions that tell other regions they only counter strat. But besides that, how much do you actually think the region or the game itself has a chance to show us something we haven't seen for years to come?
I mean, I don't think we're even close to like how the game's going to be in like 6 months, a year. I mean, if I think back to like even how we were as a team, like going out of the beta and like some of the things that we had problems with compared to like things now that are like second nature, or just like we know exactly what we need to do against certain comps, certain playstyles. It's definitely like a rapidly evolving game. And I think like the way people play now is not even close to like how good people will be down the line. So
there was a coach maybe from EU or somebody posted Split is now attack sided. Do you believe that's happening?
No.
No, not at all.
But
I love it.
But I will say, like, I think the way that people play Split is a lot different than how people played it before, especially with like Sage not being in the pool that people play. So like I think that's an aspect of the game that's like the maps can shift a lot more just based on like what Riot want to do with the agents, like how they want to buff or nerf certain things. It'll definitely impact the map favor, I guess.
Heck yeah. All right, everybody, I want to thank you so much for hanging out for this roundtable and having me to ask you some questions about where the team's going, the Cloud9 organization, the success they found, and how they look to find that success now with the new Cloud9 white all-women's team. But I do have questions for both of you, and you can answer for your teammates, for yourself. Shout it out. First question, who has the coolest head on the team?
Skylar.
Lexi.
Mel.
Tyson.
Definitely.
Me.
So I got a few Skylars, a TenZ, and then Lexi. I think Lexi was kind of just the one that it panned off. So Lexi's, do you just chill? Nothing phases you?
I never really get tilted. I just chill. I had 0 kills one scrim. I didn't get tilted.
Oh,
we do not talk about that.
Nah, we'll pretend
there.
like it didn't happen. But yeah, I just don't really get tilted.
Okay. Relics, coolest head. Is that you? Was that true?
No.
I would think TenZ is always just super calm,
Tyson.
no?
It's Tyson.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, even when the guy comes up on cam, he's not supposed to. He doesn't even react.
Yeah, robots don't have emotion, so.
I'm writing on that meme.
All right. Next question. Who is the loudest?
Shinobi.
Josh?
No.
And
Oh,
okay, you guys are just gonna call me out every time. Nice.
Yeah, I'll say melting, I guess.
I think it's just the IGL syndrome.
That's good. That's good then.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
No
perfect.
joke.
Like no qualms there then. All right, now this one is the person would say this and then obviously do something. The most likely to say, watch this.
Jazzy.
Okay, yeah, it's Jazzy.
100% Jazzy.
For sure.
Depends on the
Alright.
vibe.
Okay.
If Tyson's like having a amazing game, then yeah, he's probably going kind of style points, you know.
Tyson's
Watch
playing
this
Jazz,
double up draft. two headshots over the wall. It's like, all right.
Perfect. All right, final one before we close this out again. Thank you so much, everyone. Who do you want alive during a clutch moment?
Dan.
Okay.
TenZ.
Dan. Or
TenZ.
yeah, Dan.
TenZ.
Dan or TenZ, yeah.
Dan, I'll go Dan.
Okay.
He needs to win something.
Ladies.
Yeah, I'd say Jazzy.
Me?
Oh, so it's watch this clutch. Okay, I get it.
Oh, I remember that 1v5 on Twitter. The almost 1v5 does.
Oh yeah.
Almost.
Wait, almost.
Yeah.
I guess that is a watch this clutch moment. But I wanted to thank you all once again for coming in, sharing your stories. I wanted to congratulate you both on all of your success in the FPS scene, now on the Cloud9 organization, and I wish you all the best of luck in the future. Thank you also to AT&T, the presenting partner for the C9 White team, for their long-term support in Cloud9. This helps esports to reach a wider audience, which will let the industry grow and benefit everyone. Thank you all so much, and best of luck in your future Valorant games.
Thank you, Riv.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
man.
you.
Thank you. Thank you.